Welcome back to the next series in the Gambit guide, and we start the new course about the Stanitz Vienna Gambit. So we are back to the classics, and first world champion William Stanitz loved very much to play in his first part of career very aggressively and use many, I would say, risky opening lines. And after e4, e5, when I would say most of the players were luckily using here the move like f4, which leads to the King's Gambit, which we already studied in our Gambit guide course. So he, I would say, suggested to play first move knight b1 to c3, and only then keeping idea to play f2 and f4 on the next move. So I would like just to tell you that in history this gambit line called the Stanitz Gambit. So in case black is playing knight c6 and white is answering f4. So after e takes f4, we are getting the standard position of the King's Gambit. However, already knight on c3 and knight on c6 included into the game. So we can ask, of course, ourselves, so what is most useful here? Knight c6 move for black or knight c3 move for white? And definitely when white is already taking the more control over the d5 square and black's knight is only attacking the d4 square, usually in such a situation white is having more opportunities than in the King's Gambit, in the classical King's Gambit, because the knight on c3 is already developed. So white is having like extra tempo. And the first, I would say, important game for this variation was played in Vienna, match between William Stanitz and Max Lange. Stanitz opted for f4, and Max Lange, as we know, one of the greatest chess players of the 19th century, decided not to go for the deep water of the Stanitz analysis after e takes f4, but decided to play bishop to c5. So trying to continue developing usual way. However, already here, for the, I would say, first time in the practicing, Stanitz played very interesting and very risky move. He played f4 takes e5. So of course, today, when looking at this position, we could say white could play simply knight f3, trying to set more pressure over the black's e5 pawn, and in case of d6 continue, or bishop c4, or even bishop to b5, having slightly better game. However, Stanitz, who says that the king is a strong piece and could defend himself, played very sharp move f takes e5. So pretending on very serious advantage, not just slightly better game. So what exactly happened here? When white, this position is so dangerous for white's king. The point is that black is not captured on e5 immediately because of d4, but captured on g1 first, and after rook take g1, queen h4 check, white's king hardly even could go forward after king e2, because black simply could play queen takes h2 at least, but has to play g3, queen takes h2, and rook g2. So suddenly black, I would say, destroy white's king side. However, white is just attacking right now the black's queen. Black